All right, so want to do some Q&A?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to go first? I think you did do some in a previous session. Which
Yes.
question do you want to tackle?
I did the question on
Tell me about yourself, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
About yourself. I can do anything other than that. So if anybody wants to go first with a tell me about yourself, I can, or maybe I can do another question right now.
Anybody wants to take a shot on the tell me about yourself question? Anam, you have 2 interviews coming up. You have 2 interviews.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Khan. First of all, I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to attend your webinar today. My name is Dr. Anam Faiz. I was born and raised in a small city with 46 villages in its periphery and a famous historical city in its connection. After completing my graduation at National Medical University, I availed an opportunity to do my internship from the same hospital. And I believe I worked under the supervision of great mentors here and great attendees and that experience was my first experience to be in connect with the patient first time that molded me enough to be advance myself ahead in the field of medicine. After my internship, I was lucky enough to be selected among the top 5% of the candidates in an open interview for public health sector selection. So in that, I availed an opportunity to work in different rural, suburban, and urban communities under the different healthcare setup. And I'm also someone who has a love for teaching. I have taught many USMLE candidates and helped them to succeed through my knowledge. I love painting, writing poetry in different languages. I have almost written 300 languages in different sublocal languages of Pakistan. Besides that, I'm someone who loves to do some gym, treadmill, and I love playing badminton and cricket. Also, I'm a great lover of book reading. Recently, I've read a book, Stand Out, as well as a book on cultural diversity in America. I believe that book has opened my mind enough to work well in the great diversity of America. Besides that, I'm also running an online channel on the YouTube that's about the healthcare of the patient, that is in Urdu, because I was dealing patients back in Pakistan that had the common language in Urdu. That is about lifestyle education and awareness about their different comorbidities that I built initially for the dialysis patient. I also have worked for different volunteer works. I also have I also created many awareness campaigns back in Pakistan for different healthcare issues as well. I have led many free healthcare seminars in my city as well as in 3 different villages back in Pakistan. That's all about me. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure there's much more. That's not all about you. Good. Yeah, I think, have you written down your answers, or you just going by going with the flow?
It was just spontaneous.
That's fine. That's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you can just do voice to text very easily these days. Just to put it down to paper. I think this was fine. Delivery was reasonable. I think this was spontaneous. That's pretty good. When is your first interview?
It's on 15th of November.
Okay, November. Okay, it's coming up. Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah, I think it's about time that you should just put things on paper, just to. But it's fine. It's good. One thing, is this such a scenario where you will be giving your interviews, sitting for your interviews?
I'm working on that. I really need your feedback.
No, yeah. Is this your setup that you will be for your interviews?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing is, just move your laptop a little bit back.
Okay.
Yeah, and center it a little bit.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, I think you can move it just a little bit back so they can have a bit more, what you're seeing for myself. I mean, right now I'm cutting off my head, but I didn't really spend time fixing my setup. So you want to, right?
Okay, great.
Right. And your audio is a little bit, could be improved a little bit. Okay. What do you guys think? Anybody else? Do you think that's reasonable? Her audio could be improved a little bit. What do you think?
I don't know. I thought I have a very shitty phone, so I thought it was my phone that was the problem. I think it was good. I could hear everything clearly, Dr. Umar.
Right. I would suggest anybody else. I thought it was a little
Shaky?
well. That was going to be my next comment about the video. Because no, that happened with Stefan yesterday, that he was sitting very close to his computer and was shaking. So when you're talking, it's your lid of your
Yeah, I got it.
it was shaking. That was going to be my third comment. It sounds a little bit that you're in echo. What do you guys? Anybody else thinks the same thing? I mean, when you listen to Abdullah speaking and her audio, just a little bit. I prefer audio to be very crisp. That's my personal preference. What you can do is anything USB, like a small regular USB mic, or even yeah. Let me get somebody else's take. Anybody else? Stefan, Raja, what do you think?
Would headphones be off? Would headphones be a bad idea?
Headphones are not a bad idea. Headphones are reasonable. I don't think headphones is a problem.
I don't know. They feel really with those little tooties in your ears. They feel really the ones that are sticking out. Does that look professional?
Well, you know, people. That's a good thought. I think if you're dressed professionally and otherwise it's fine, and the audio is coming out crisp. I think the audio needs to come out crisp. That's the main point. That's what I think, at least. So anybody else wants to give a little bit of feedback, or they think her audio is fine? I just want to make sure she's ready for her interview.
Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't hear her audio, so I can't give it.
Anam, can you give a description of your college life? I mean,
my college life. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Khan. I believe my college life has molded me into a great person. I learned from my mistakes there, from my failures there, and I learned from my graduation that how much persistence matters in our life. It's not just about like working hard, but we need some coaching and mentorship. So I will during my graduation, I connected with the people and I learned from my seniors. So this is all about. Can you hear me, Dr. Stephen?
Yes, I think I heard it very clearly. For
Okay.
me, Dr. Omar,
No,
I feel like
I'm sorry to cut you off. I get what Dr. Umar is saying. I focused. It takes a sharp ear to listen to what's happening. It's very echoey, the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, are you using like a double microphone or something like that? Do you have two microphones you're using?
Yeah,
Because
I have. I can try those.
Right.
okay.
So the point is to make any mistake here, not in the interview.
Exactly. Yeah. Make all your mistakes here and then correct them here before the interview date.
Yeah, I will try those.
And Dr. Faiz, check that if your room's door is closed, maybe you can try opening it a bit, because voice echo also occurs when you are alone in the room and room is closed.
Yeah, it's like that. My room is not that much big, but yeah, the room is closed. Maybe that's why it is echoing. But I'm trying to connect with my Bluetooth AirPods. So please continue the session. Meanwhile,
Okay. All right, that's fine. Yeah, this third comment was that it shakes when you talk. It shakes a little bit. Stefan's shakes more, so you're not that bad. Stefan's shakes
Yeah,
more.
no, I agree. I'm learning my lessons gradually, trying to correct them as
Right.
much as I can.
Right. No, that's fine. Yeah.
Voice, man. I'm jealous of Stefan's voice.
Say it again?
I'm saying I'm jealous of your voice. You have a very nice voice, smooth.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, well, anyway, thanks for the compliments. Appreciate that.
No problem, my
So,
brother.
All right.
so Dr. Khan, I have got a question about the background.
Uh-huh.
So what type of background do you prefer having during the interview? Like simple, plain is enough, or what type should? Like
Okay.
I don't have any hobby like painting or something like that, so I can hang on some paintings. So I am actually thinking about the background right now for the interview. What do you suggest?
Whatever it is, it needs to be clean. Yeah, that's it. It needs to be nice and clean, no clutter in your background. The light
So let's
source.
just
Yes.
so let's just say it's a plain wall, like plain whitewashed wall, white or off white, you can say. So is that okay? Light will be in front of me.
Right. So, I mean, you can see sort of my background, you can see Anam's background, Stefan's background. So these are reasonable. These are reasonable. Let me see if anybody else has a background or no, not. So if it's a, a sort of a setup background, that's good. That's probably more preferred. However, if you don't have it, a plain background is fine. If you
Yeah.
don't have it, a plain background is fine. What you need to have is a clear audio and a light in front of you, a light source in front of you.
Yeah.
Those are the most important things. If you can't, go and change your whole environment. You can't do that. Easy ways would be to just buy an artificial plant. This is an artificial plant right here. These are all
Okay. Yeah.
artificial plants. They come very cheap.
Yeah.
You just put them on,
Yeah.
and they within I'm not sure where you are, but very few amounts of money, you can put them up. But the lighting
Yeah.
needs to be good. The lighting and the audio needs to be good, and the lighting needs to be in front of your face.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about the plants right now, or otherwise I just have a plain background. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I can add anything else too, but for now I am just thinking about the plants.
Right.
So the plain background doesn't give any, you can say, negative effect. It
No,
does or doesn't.
no, just it's better to have something,
Yeah.
look more professional. It's better, but
Yeah.
if it's not there, at least don't be dirty. Don't be messy. Whatever it is, it should be nice and clean, tidied up. Everything should be clean. But a
Okay.
plain
Yeah.
background is fine. Plain background is also
Yeah.
fine. You need to be structured, your eye height as much as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eye height as much as possible. Your frame showing a little bit. Okay, you can express yourself if you need to. And so your head, my head is cutting off, but ideally you should be like here. Not too much
Yeah.
space on the top,
Yeah.
not too much space, right?
Okay.
Not too much
Yeah,
space.
got it.
Yeah. So like your face should be in the center and above a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much.
and light, again, light needs to be in front. People sometimes open their windows and it's at the back, right? Yeah.
So the light source is in front of me or
Yeah.
all above my head, and the one big light or tube light is in front of me.
Great.
So I have got a ring light too, but I have glasses, so I have to put the ring light on the side.
Right.
So
Right.
I use that ring light on one side and torch light on the other side to balance that, because if I put the ring light in front of me, that will reflect in my glasses.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
Thank you so much.
And then Javiri, I think one thing you might do is probably have a mock interview with Dr. Omar before your real interview, just so you can have a clear picture
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
I
lighting
will
and
try that.
everything.
Yeah, I will definitely try that, because I didn't have setup right now. That's why I just asked him, but I will try that too.
Yeah, you should
Thank you
have it
so much.
ready, because it will come so quick. Time will
Yeah.
pass by so quick. So that maybe in the next session or some other session down the line, you can,
Yeah, I will definitely do that in some other session down the line.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
So that I can check my picture quality too and decide about the camera too. I will definitely do that. Thank you so much for your feedback.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so all right, question. Somebody wants to practice?
I'm willing to go as well.
Okay, so you want to talk about
The strengths.
let's do strengths. Okay.
Okay, should I start?
Yeah. So hi, Dr. Abdullah. Okay, so I have a question for you, and I know this is a common question, but you seem like a person who may have different experiences. I want to see if you can talk about what have been your strengths that have brought you here to this interview today.
Thank you so much for the question, Dr. Omar. And like you mentioned, that is a very common question that's asked. And I feel like I took a bit of time coming up with the answers to this question, because not only did I want to impress you guys, per se, but I also wanted to be honest about my journey that's led me here. I think one of the things that I've experienced and I've really worked on, and I wouldn't say that was a strength, but I think that it's one of those things that I've been very consistently working on, is articulation. And I feel like being in internal medicine and being a doctor in general, the one thing that I've learned about and the one thing I struggled with during my life was to be articulate enough so that I could get my points across not only to the patients, but my fellow colleagues as well. And it's something that I've tried to work on, and I am working on, as I know that, as you know, that everyone is a work in progress. So that would be one of my strengths. Another one of my strengths would be I'm very cognizant about my mistakes, or I'm very cognizant about what aspects of my professional and personal life that I need to work on. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've been interested in internal medicine to begin with. I realized what my strengths were. I was very aware about what I could do and where I would thrive. And I thought that internal medicine would be one of the fields that I would thrive in, mostly because I'm very observant as well. And that this was a perfect segue to my third what's the word? I've forgotten the word.
Strength or
My goodness.
strong point.
Strong point. My third strength is that I'm very observant. So oftentimes I would be of help to my seniors, where I would just be collecting all the case notes and I would notice little discrepancies. Or there have been multiple occasions when I would bring up to the attention of my seniors something that they might have missed in their very hectic schedules. And obviously, they're very talented seniors and they have a lot more knowledge than I do. And they taught me most of the things that I know. But I think it's my ability to be observant that really impressed them. And it gave me a lot of confidence to move in the future as well into internal medicine. And I hope that answers your question.
Okay, great. Yeah. Great. I think you gave a few examples. Those are always appreciated. Yeah, so I think all these questions, I think examples are always the best. Examples are, you always need to, plug in an example. If you say somebody says, okay, I am actually fairly enterprising. Okay, you have to give an example. Okay, I started this club during medical school.
Yeah.
And we led it to this level and this and this and this. And we developed this into a small startup. It didn't go well, but this was definitely an experience that taught me about this for my future purposes. I'm a people person. If somebody gives an example, then you have to give an example. Yeah, because now I'm a people person and I believe I get along with everyone. I have my own ways of getting along with people. And I think 99% of the times people appreciate my demeanor and my approach. And practically speaking, this has helped me because I was the leader of my class, of the class representative. This definitely helped me coordinate, collaborate, engage, and motivate people. And I believe this brings me into medicine as well as a solid resident for internal medicine. And I think I will carry this value into medicine as well. So anything positive you talk about, share a bit of an example.
Perfect.
Let's say, yeah, I'm very detailed. I'm very detail oriented. Well, everybody likes to blow their own horn or toot their own horn. And I know there are many other capable detail-oriented candidates, but I like to talk about myself, and I, because of my detail-oriented approach, during the final year, we have our annual events, and the college administration saw my abilities and they put me in charge of this activity. And I'm happy to say that I do believe I did a very good job, and I always received praise for this. And this also replicates in medicine, as I'm fairly detailed with my history, which I've seen myself, and hopefully I will look to improve upon my strengths with my history taking and my patient evaluation skills. And I know I'm just going to be a resident, but of course, my what do you call it? Detail-oriented approach will do me well. Thanks for asking the question. So everything needs to have some type of a connection with something.
Yeah. Dr. Omar, would you recommend that? Honestly, everything right now is impromptu, so I haven't really written everything down. Would you recommend that I write it down as well? Because at the end of the day, I just don't want to lose the.
You don't have to write. You can do bullet points.
Perfect.
You
Yeah.
don't have to do it verbatim. Every single thing. Some people who have difficulty with grammar, I recommend that they do write it down and practice their presentation. But otherwise, if somebody is, naturally a bit more eloquent, it's okay to just do bullet points.
Dr. Omar, what would you recommend for me to improve my way of giving this interview or answering the question? What would you think is the most important thing that I should work on?
Most important. I think, yeah, just bullet points for you. I think you should have a list of 20 questions, right? And those bullet points for yourself. Okay, what am I going to say in this? What am I going to say in this? What am I going to say in this?
And then Dr. Omar, can you keep a notepad out of the view of the interviewer so that you can read off it?
Yeah, so that came up yesterday. And ideally, I think you should have gone over your notes already.
Okay.
That you don't have to look at your note, because if some people said that you can put stickies on your different places on your screen, so you're not looking away for your notepad, right? So that may, it's up to you. If you're quick enough, if you're fast enough to not let that affect you, and you can think on your feet, and you can look at the notepad and get the information that you need, then it's fine. But I think if you practice these questions 3-4 times, I think it should come off naturally. And anything that they throw at you, that is, not what you practiced, it doesn't matter, because you have done this so much for 20 questions that you would be natural in giving an answer, providing an answer.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
So I think just it will take you a couple of hours in an afternoon. Okay, this is point, this point, this point, this point, this point, this points. Okay, this question, this points. Let's go over it a couple of times. Some people, I do recommend that they put it right, especially the common questions, they should have it written. Some people who may not be too slick when it comes to giving impromptu answers. So
okay.
I think everybody's different. Everybody has their own strengths and the way they operate.
Then don't forget, if you're putting a sticky notes on the front of your computer, it might reflect on your eyeglasses. And I don't think that is something you want to risk risk with. And as Dr. Omar said, I think consistent practice will make us better. I'm always nervous myself, but what I'm doing is just to keep practicing. Hopefully, I get better. Well, Dr. Mohammed, I think I'm very pleased with your response. Mostly your transition statement was something that swept my feet. I think you should keep that up.
Okay. Yeah. So, so I added the transitional sentences in the tell me about yourself answer. So that's just an example of what you should do. Okay, when you look at the program, transitional sentences. Yeah, transitional sentences. If anybody is not with the program, then you can just message me. Let me just put my number here. That should help out, hopefully. WhatsApp. This is a WhatsApp number. Noor has a hand raised. Hello. Okay, maybe not. Okay. All right. I think we are crossing an hour.
Hi, Dr.
Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry.
Can you hear?
Your audio is coming in and out, but we can try.
Oh, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, let's try. You can say what you need to say.
Oh yes, thank you so much. So I just wanted to ask you that if you are asked this question about our strengths, how should we start the answer? Like, should we just jump into the answer, or should we say something in the beginning? Because I don't want to come off as too arrogant. So how should we start it?
Okay, good question. I think the best way, and I'll probably add this to the program as well. The best way to answer this type of, to have a transition sentence, that's what you're talking about, is, well, I do believe that, well, let me just step back a little bit. I do know that there are many highly qualified candidates, but I do, but since you asked this question, and I do want to, support myself as well, I would definitely love to talk about my strengths. And you mentioned 3. I would love to talk about some of my 3 strengths, and they include this, and the first one, this because of this and this example. I do believe this correlates with medicine as well. Then second, then third, and yeah, you will start by, I do believe there are many qualified candidates here, but I do believe I'm a strong candidate as well. And thanks for asking this question. And then you jump into the question.
Yeah, thank you so much. And could you also comment on how we should start the answer to our weaknesses? I was confused about these two.
Okay. Good question. And everybody knows that they all have weaknesses, and I've also identified a few. And I knew this was a common question as well, but I did prepare for it, and I found this to be my weaknesses. This because of this, but I have worked on this to improve this. So I think you will approach it like that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. These, to have a transition sentence before this is probably better. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Okay, so
thank you,
we'll
Doctor.
have more sessions coming up. All right. So we'll have, of course, we'll share the calendar, and we'll send out the invites and the emails. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Dr. Khan.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khan, for the session. I want to ask you, I was not able to attend the yesterday's session. I think I have not got the link. So is there any recording for yesterday's session?
Okay. Yeah. Do you yeah, send me a message. I'll share it with you as well. I'll share it with you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it would be great if you can share the today's recording as well. And
Right.
thank
Yeah,
you
this
so
will
much
be
for the
recorded, and
session.
we will have this in a few days as well. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Khan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.